Hello tech friends. In today's video, I want to talk about replacing a traffic counter. Traffic counter is a camera. If you know the security guard watching you coming in and out, that's the camera. The camera they normally use a different type of camera. Like that is a regular camera you always see, and there is a camera which is called traffic counter. This is whole purpose to show the traffic, and this camera is placed on uh, some type of exit or entrance, like maybe in the door, or maybe in a stair, or maybe in elevator. So where people going in and out, that's why this is called traffic counter. And this device is specifically called Orbit, and this device here, this is called Prodco. That's also a traffic counter, but different store have different type of device. In order to do this job, you need to have tools to make the patch cable. You need at least a few RJ45 plug and all other crimper, everything. Bring it. Sometime you need in case, but if you don't need, that's fine. But when you get a job, some basic tool always expected to have. This is one of them, and you have to climb up ladder. This most likely depending on the store, it could be 10 foot, 15 foot high, and most likely don't have to bring the ladder because most of the store have the ladder. There's high ladder always. Most of the 90% store I worked, I never bring the ladder. It always they have the ladder. Every store have the ladder. But one thing you should have, you use steel toe boot. Most of the company they required steel toe boot part of your dress code, but even this they're not required. Or steel toe boot. If you don't have steel toe boot, at least wear regular boot. And you also need these basic tools. They expect you have these basic toolkits. In specific for this job purpose, you will need a measuring tape. You have to measure how tall the orbit is. Means from the floor to the ceiling where the people counter located, and from the gate to the people counter. So you have to measure this few distance. Next thing, you will need a handhold drill. This drill will be, again, maybe not all the cases you will need it, but they expect you have it, because if in case you need it, then they will say why you don't bring it. This is the Orbit, new Orbit. In the packet come with a Orbit, a patch cable, and this is the extra power cable. I never had to use this, but it's come with it. Sometime it needed. And also it should become two other paper. One paper is to guide for the drill for the orbit, and another for the calibration stripe. So this is the Prodco. Old Prodco looks like, and Prodco use 4 cable. In modern patch cable, at least if it Ethernet cable category 5, 6, from 5, you will see everything. This is the 5E. This have 8 cable inside, 4 pair, but on Prodco they use only 2 cable. So if you need to change it, like I said before, always carry a bring patch cable maker. You bring all the tools to make the cable, because if you need to change orbit, you need to use that. And this is the other side of the Prodco. See, in the is indicating the cable inside. So from the when they make cable, they cut this 2 cable here. So you have to cut from somewhere to get the whole 4 pair 8 cable. And other end of this cable goes to the server rack behind the store. This is the Prodco. Looks like it most likely it will be on the front somewhere, maybe under the counter, under the cash register. If any security company, like any building use, they may be on the security desk, it will be under there. And also again, this use the 4 cable from the Ethernet cable. If you need to change it, if you put the new orbit, new people counter, that use whole 8 cable. So you have to cut it and make new. This is the back of the server. So different company could be looked differently. And this specific company have only one switch and one patch panel. And there is some other Cisco device inside. For this purpose, we are not concerned. We don't need to concern about those. We need more of this portion, switch, patch panel, and they have another patch panel behind the rack. This on the wall jack. So from this patch panel, it goes to the wall jack. So in one place, I was very confused, because from switch to patch panel here is a one color cable. Let's say it's a blue cable here, but in same number, like it's 1 2 3 4 5 numbering, is will be same numbering here. So and same number in here is different kind of cable, is white cable. So I was confused how that could be carry over. So later on, I realized that this cable, this switch going here, so from here to here is fine, is one cable, and from this patch panel to the wall jack, another cable. So that's also fine, because this and this is connected, this and this is connected. You can bypass this patch panel and go from state to switch to back of the wall. Now when you do use the orbit, one of the very important thing, you have to do short cabling. This is the cable come with the orbit. You put on the switch or on the patch panel and plug other end with the orbit, and somebody behind. So this is another important thing I should mention now. Any job, especially this type of job you will do, you not will do alone, because you are just physically moving all those parts, but they do not have security guard there. Even the security guard, they are not technical person. They don't know what's going on. So somebody, other IT guy behind somewhere, they are watching everything. They are controlling all this network, so they can see what is going on. Follow their direction. Everything you will do, they will direct you what to do, what to do. But you need to know that this when they will say, oh, do short cabling. Oh, okay, so this is the short cabling mean. You have to put one end of patch cable in the orbit and one other end in the patch cable with the switch or patch panel. So then once you put that, uh, the technician working behind the network engineer, he will be able to see if it's active or not. If it's active, he will to see from the device. So that means this is active. Once it's active, then you will ready to go put the original place it's supposed to go. But do not go directly there. Before you put in the original place, you have to do the short cabling. Once you do the short cabling, the order I am saying is not always go the same order because it's depend on the store and depend on the engineer working behind. So follow his direction or her direction. So this is the I was saying Prodco. This is RJ11 cable, the patch panel they use. So if you have to make the if you put the orbit, you have to put the new cable. Cable is fine. You got the cable is here. You just need to change the plug. So instead of RJ11, you put the RJ45. In so there, this wall jack is behind the under the register or behind the counter. I said before, the the Prodco one and the Prodco is on the by the exit, and other end of the Prodco is by this wall jack. If you use the new orbit do not have the other end. Orbit is you put on the exit sign, and that's one end. This cable, if this store like this specific store had Prodco, so if they need to you need to change the Prodco, you cut the this portion, make the new RJ45 and put on the wall jack. Put on the wall jack. You have to make sure that you putting on the same cable, same wall jack you putting on the server rack. So remember that you have to what server rack you putting in on there, the same patch panel patch wall jack you have to put there. If you get the new orbit, just if there is no Prodco, so you most likely you not even see this portion. If there is Prodco, and you will be see this portion. So next thing, this is the other side of the Prodco you see, and that's the number 6 on the wall jack, and it is connected on number 6 on the patch cable. This is the switch you see on the server rack. When I do this number 6, I told you this is going from there to going the wall jack. So in here, I bypass the patch panel over there. I just from the switch, I directly went the wall jack on the server rack, and here is another cable here. And once you make the cable, because you making the new cable, making your own, you cutting those RJ11 and making RJ45, you have to test it. So one end in the RJ45 is here on the register. I said where the old Prodco machine was, and other end on the orbit where the old Prodco tube was. So this portion and this portion you have to make this. There's the two portion you cutting and making the new cable, and you have to test it. Some case you maybe even you don't see this. If you like this portion, even you just put the regular uh, orbit, you just switching the orbit. Maybe orbit itself could be bad. Maybe the cable could be bad. You have to find out sometime. I had the problem once I put the orbit, switch it and put the new orbit. That's the like our main job. Get the old orbit out, put the new orbit in. That's easy, right? It should not be take more than 15-20 minutes. But like I would say 60-80% case, this job will not go that smooth. That's why when they make the ticket, company expect at least 1 to 2 hours, but it should not be take more than 2 hours. That's the normal case. If more bad happen, well, like happened to me in one case, I was they have different server rack. They have in two different rooms, big store. They have two different room server rack and different type of like how many switch? It's three switches in one place, three switch in other place, and it was very difficult. They in the background, the engineer working, they do not even had the proper instruction. They do not have proper diagram, so it take more time to find out the actual place. So once you do anything, everything, there's you have to take the picture. You always take the picture and from the different angle, it will be show. This is Prodco, like I showed before, and there is other type of device here in this company, and maybe not all the company you will see. I am not 100% sure what is this. I think this is work with the Prodco, or maybe this is for thermal type of thing. I'm not 100% sure what is this, but not always you will see this. This is not common. So this first time when I put the orbit, um, you see the exit sign, and you see the orbit is not like lined up. So once this is not lined up, that's not good. You have to be lined up. You have to be exactly parallel. This and this have to be parallel. If it's not the parallel, when they put the exit sign, they put the parallel to the exit. Means either store entrance gate or whatever, maybe elevator or whatever. So you have to be, these have to be parallel. Make sure you can measure properly, and so you can make right. So if it's not parallel, then the picture not will be right. You will see the picture is little bit off from the. So once is not parallel, what I did, I like I use the paper guiding. Like first time I was doing few months ago. I that was new for me, and that's why I had to do some research. So this shows, this is showing 5 feet. So that's the camera, the picture from the camera from the orbit. First time I did, you see that I saw the picture before. It was not like properly lined up. So this picture was not like properly straight. The engineer will tell you, hey, this is not looks right. So this from the floor to this ceiling was I'm not sure how exactly, but it might be 15 feet long. Most likely it's 50 feet high. But see, this is showing only 5 feet. And I said the measuring tape. You have to tell them how high because when they will be, say, I can see 5 foot. You have to show the measuring tape. Yes, that's 5 foot. So what you see, that's right. So have the measuring tape ready and show them. Once you put the orbit right way, so before I move, so this very beginning you see the white cover. So this is like complete after finish everything. Well, if you not finish, if your engineer says, oh, everything is okay, you are done, do not put the cover, do not put the white cover until you finish everything. Because what happened, once you put the white cover, it had to take it out. This is a dry ceiling. In the dry ceiling, the screw is not like strong enough. Yeah, dry ceiling is not strong enough. So if you like trying to take it and out, the white cover most likely. See, I make like several hole is was a kind of mess on there. So do not put white cover until you everything is finished, everything is clear. If engineer says, "Oh, yes, okay, everything looks fine, this is perfect," and then you can put white cover. Maybe some store it could be you not even have to do. It's like this store, as I saying see here, is by the stair. So this is a ceiling with this is like what is called rod, right? This is a rod. This is the iron ceiling. So they already Prodco, the orbit was already set up there, and in this type of case it's easy to put. Just you slide um, left right, you will see it a little bit. You will see it will be if you slide it, it will be take it out. One panel should be already there on the top on the ceiling, uh, and the orbit is on there. So you just put the orbit, slide the orbit, it should be get out, and you take off the patch cable and put the new orbit in there. And this is the major calibration stripe I was talking earlier. So this purpose of the once you finish uh, installing this, you put the calibration stripe, which is will be automatically calibrate the orbit. So there's two important thing. I said short cabling first before you start working with the orbit. You have to do short cabling, and once you finish installing, you have to put the this stripe that will be calibrate the orbit. Okay, friends, so that's all. This is the right picture. Once everything is done, this picture is almost 5 foot. um, I think it's 4 or 5, 5 foot 5, something like that, and that's the high they're supposed to see. So, and after everything is done, this was the picture. Good luck. Um, do proper order, follow engineer's direction, and few basic thing I said. Bring a engineering and tape, measuring tape. Bring a patching tools, crimper, RJ45, and all the tools, and wire shoe. That's very important for you have to sometime work on the hazardous environment, maybe construction site, or even on the back the of the store, working on the where the server rack. Sometimes that place is mess, kind of mess. So it depend on the store. Be safe. Okay. Wish you good luck. Thank you. Have a good day.